Well, it has been more than a year and a half since Hurricane Katrina slammed the Gulf Coast, and recovery efforts are still underway. People in Memphis continue to help by rebuilding homes in New Orleans, and with me today is a man who recently went down to the coast for a project of his own with Habitat for Humanity, Mr. DeWayme Sweet. Sir, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So tell me, you were with a fraternity, and members of your fraternity went down to help Habitat for Humanity.
That is correct. Actually, about 20 of us gentlemen from Memphis at the University of Memphis, also our graduate chapter, Sigma Lambda Lambda. And as a joint effort, we all went down there. What really started it is actually we were motivated by a church that did something similar. I think it's First Baptist Church on Broad around Christmas, where they actually took some gifts down to the Hurricane Katrina victims. And we talked about it, and one of our brothers in our organization, Greg Blanchard, is actually from New Orleans. He was telling us about the devastation and the problems they were having. And we talked about it and said, look, let's not talk about it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So actually in our fraternity, a couple of our national mandates are Hurricane Katrina relief and as well as support for Habitat for Humanity. So we all just got together, planned it out, and went down there and had an outstanding time,
Now, when you got there, I'm sure you've seen the images on TV. How was it different actually being there and seeing it firsthand than seeing it on television?
Actually, it's very different. It's hard to compare. It's like you see the glamorous images, I think, of maybe French Quarters and the Superdome, all those things are done. But actually, the infrastructure of New Orleans is really suffering, and particularly the Ninth Ward, which is the community we actually spent some time in building. Actually seeing those places, seeing the devastation, seeing where they are as far as the rebuilding effort, they really do have a lot of problems, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of efforts from people everywhere to come down and help. And they were very loving and open to us, and they were very friendly and nice, and really were very appreciative to our efforts. So we really learned a lot on the trip.
Yeah, we're rolling some video of, is this you all down there?
Yeah, there's a couple of younger members who are down there trying to put some siding on the house. Obviously, we're unskilled labor. They're very skilled, also individuals that are there that are directing us.
That help you, yeah.
And exactly, and with the individuals from the fraternity with New Orleans, it's about 20 plus the 20 down, and we end up with 40, almost 50 members of our fraternity actually down there helping.
Wow.
And so we really did learn a lot, not only from the people, but also learning about the rebuilding efforts and the time it really takes, and will be a long healing process.
And I'm sure, you take something personally away from this, not only the good feeling of helping others down there, but even knowing how to do a few things at home, huh?
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt about that. I don't think any of us are very skilled. Some of the individuals were, but the good thing about Habitat is they do direct you whatever your strength may be. And ultimately, we also participated in some area cleanup. For example, I had an unfortunate incident where a gas vein was actually broken when we were down there, and we had to clear the site, but we spent some time also doing an area cleanup in the Ninth Ward. So we got a little time to walk around and actually speak to some of the individuals there. You'd be surprised, it's almost like a ghost town, when the only noise we heard a lot of time was the hammering of the nails and the people talking, because maybe 1 out of 10 residents in the whole area was still there. So it was an outstanding experience.
Yeah, that has to be such a surreal feeling. But I'm sure the people down there were incredibly appreciative of...
Definitely. Many of them had a lot of stories for us, particularly the ones that are there. Some of the issues as far as trying to rebuild, some of the issues they're dealing with a lot of the insurance issues and trying to get the infrastructure. And what a lot of people don't know, a lot of the area is in what they call a historical district. So even those that have received their checks from their insurance companies, they have to still build up to the building code of a historic district. So that cost is really astronomical. And you got to look at also the health care issues. Many individuals that, because of the infrastructure has been broken down, there's not as many schools, there's not as many, for example, hospitals for individuals that might need that. So they really spent time talking with us about some of those issues and some of the things. I mean, in a lot of the houses you saw FEMA trailers actually pulled up into the actual homes, and many other individuals just left them and abandoned them altogether.
Now, did you get to meet the people whose home you built?
Definitely, definitely. One of the things with Habitat for Humanity, one of the requirements is that they actually have to spend a certain number of work hours building on the house.
So they helped.
Actually live in. Exactly,
okay.
exactly. And those individuals were very, very open with us. They really spent a lot of time sharing with us. They would tell us how thankful they were of us coming down, and I really do just ask anybody that don't just talk about it, but ultimately I know Habitat for Humanity has websites, and that's how we initially got hooked up with it. But I asked anybody, if you have time, you're thinking about it, it's in your heart, it's a lot easier than you think it is. And to go down there and you really can make a difference. And seeing it and on the television is totally different than actually being there, being with the people. So outstanding experience. We plan on making this a yearly event. We had such a good time, and the brothers and the people opened their arms up down there. We're so glad to see us that we definitely plan on doing this at least once a year.
Well, it's a great project, and hopefully your work has inspired others to get out and do the same thing. We want to thank you so much for coming on the newscast today and sharing it with us.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right, DeWayme Sweet, thank you very much. And here's more information about the Greater Memphis Habitat for Humanity affiliate if you are interested. It was founded in 1983. It's one of 1,600 affiliates in the U.S. The Greater Memphis chapter is ranked in the top 25 in terms of house production. Since its start, 250 houses have been built in the Memphis area. And we've linked the local Habitat for Humanity website with our website. You will find that at myeyewitnessnews.com. Just click on the midday link on the left-hand side of the homepage.